Now, the parents of a desperately sick baby, Charlie Gard, have been given a lifeline after judges at the European Court of Human Rights asked for more time to analyse this very complex and sensitive case.
Well, Chris Gard and Connie Yates believe that 10-month-old Charlie, who has a rare genetic condition and is dependent on life support, desperately needs experimental treatment in America, but they face a legal challenge from the hospital here in the UK.
Well, Charlie's mum, Connie Yates, joins us, and Dr Sarah Jarvis is alongside her. Good morning to you. This has been tough for you right from the start, hasn't it? But this does look like a little glimmer of hope, presumably, that they've said, yes, keep treating baby Charlie. We're going to look at the case. What is the treatment that you want to give your very sick baby that the doctors have argued is not the answer?
So it's just an oral medication that would just go in his milk. So no major side effects or anything like that. And it's worked miracles in other children that's on the same medication. They've got a slightly different gene, but it still affects the way that the cell works.
OK, and how is baby Charlie doing right at this minute?
Well, he's stable, you know. He's very weak and, you know, he's in intensive care, but he's been in hospital for a few months, but he's stable. Like, we could not sit there and watch our son suffer and in pain. I just couldn't do that.
Is that part of the issue, that you don't believe that he is suffering?
No, I've said that he doesn't have the best quality of life at the moment. I mean, he's sort of stuck in a bed all the time. Like, you know, we can't... I mean, we took him out from a picnic recently, so he is, you know, he is stable enough to come out of intensive care, but he's, you know, he doesn't have the best quality, but he's not suffering. So.
Meanwhile, the doctors have argued that this treatment wouldn't work or is too experimental, and they have achieved some success in the courts here, which has now been put on hold because of this decision. How is it when you go into the hospital and you see your baby and the medical staff are there and doctors are there, but you know that they have a different view about your baby's treatment than you do?
We don't really see the doctors that sort of have the views, so it's actually OK. Like, you know, we get on with the nurses really well.
And are the nurses supportive with you?
Yeah, the nurses are really good.
I mean, it must be an agonising experience for you at the moment.
Can I ask, Connie, it's incredibly difficult, this. I had a cousin of mine who was a paediatric neurologist at Great Ormond Street for a very long time. And they do unbelievable work. I mean, Great Ormond Street, to me, is one of the great hospitals in the world, especially with the children's whose lives they save and so on. And they're experts in their field, and they clearly have reached a conclusion, very, very tragically for you and your family, that this is not going to help. I understand as a parent why you are so determined to cling to any possible hope. I get that completely. But I also understand why Great Ormond Street believe that their expertise is correct.
Charlie has an extremely rare form of mitochondrial disease, and there's, you know, a handful of experts in this particular field, and one of those experts is in America, and he's a neurologist as well. He also works with scientific studies and sort of comes up with these medications. He's saved, you know, there's 18 children on this medication already. It's honestly a miracle there.
Sarah Jarvis, it's a horrible situation. There's no winners here at all. Like I say, Great Ormond Street has this world-class reputation. But I completely understand how Connie feels. You know, if there is a tiny, tiny glimmer of hope, should she not be allowed to try and pursue it?
As you so rightly say, Piers, there are no winners here. I cannot begin to imagine how distressing this is, but I also see, from the doctor's perspective, yes, there are a handful of children in the world with this mitochondrial condition, but the neurologists at Great Ormond Street, the specialists there, they have dedicated their lives. All they do every day of their lives is to weigh up how they can help children best. And in this situation, they will absolutely not have come to this conclusion lightly. The doctor who's talking about treating him has said he is in a terminal condition. There is a small chance of a meaningful improvement. We're not talking about recovery. We're absolutely not talking about cure.
But if you're a parent and you hear there is a small chance of anything positive, why not allow that to be explored?
I think because there is, all right, an oral medication that wouldn't cause distress being given, but because so few children have had it, there are lots of tests that will need to be done which are invasive. We don't know what side effects of all these medications are. And there aren't enough children who've had it to know whether the side effects would outweigh the benefits.
Connie, you know, you've got an opportunity now, haven't you, for another court to hear the complexities in this case.
Sorry, yeah. Can I just say, I don't see why a child has to die, because, like, other children have had this. It's been tested on animals before. They're all natural compounds that all of us produce. It's nothing harmful, and that's what we're saying, that they should only be able to intervene with parents' decision if it's going to cause their children harm. We're not going to do that. We love our son with every ounce of our being. We've got his best interest in mind. We're not horrible people.
I don't think anyone could possibly accuse you of that, and I think anybody would understand, parent or not, if you have any opportunity that there might be a treatment for your child which would improve their outcome, even fractionally, why you wouldn't fight to your last breath to get that for your child.